So, lads, how would you like to meet a woman
No, I've met enough of them.
who can cook, have sex on tap, and never have a headache?
What do you mean sex on
Like
tap?
you can have sex with her whenever you want. Would you like the thought of that?
I need more information, Rita.
So the new thing now is sex dolls.
Is that what women think men want? Someone who can cook and have a ride whenever you want. And what was the last one she's able to do?
No headaches.
She's able to cook as well, and she'll never have a headache. Like when you go, oh, can I have sex? Oh no, not tonight, love. I've got a headache.
I've never heard.
That's that. Love.
Oh,
I've got a
that
headache.
love.
I've got a headache.
That sounded like a fella living with a man dressed up as a woman. And he says,
I've got a deep voice.
And he says, would you like to have sex tonight? No, not tonight. I've got a dick. That's what I thought you said.
An headache.
I've got a dick.
Well, no. So this is
But is that what you think men want?
No, this is what men want.
Hello there. Look, how would you know?
Well, because I was researching.
Do you think a man
week.
would dare say, I know what women want?
No, because they don't.
All right. So, and what gives you the authority then to say, I know what men want?
Because men always want to have sex.
No, they don't.
Yes, you do. And when you're not having it, you're wondering about when you'll be having
Laurita,
it.
Laurita. I thought you read the New
Don't
York.
be pretending you're.
Now, hang on a second.
Oh, I'm so like.
Do you think men want to have sex all the time?
Most of the time.
Well, you are completely wrong.
You need to ask our wives.
Yes.
I don't know what I can't.
You're like pet dogs going round always looking for attention, and that's what
like
men
a girl?
want.
Well, aren't you a lucky woman to have some fella fucking following you around the house
Wanting
with
to ride
the
all
tongue
the
hanging
time.
out the mouth and
Anyway, that's
the stalk on him like?
Is that not what men
Laurita,
want?
No, it's not.
What do men want?
We like
Solitude and crisps.
and the odd ride.
Crisps.
O'Donnell's salt and vinegar
Sandwiches.
in the kitchen in me
Give
box.
it up. They're not giving us any.
Whiskey.
Soccer,
So you don't-
Champions
you'd
League, a
fresh
lovely
air.
fire,
So you wouldn't
A
want
hug every now and again.
So yeah,
Bit of crack.
lovely cup of
so you
tea.
don't. You never want to have sex.
No, but you're saying men want to have sex all the time.
A lot of the time.
What's a lot of the time?
What's as for percentage of a week? How many times would you want to have sex
Hang on.
in a
What I-
7-day period?
Tommy,
I would
you
say,
answer that.
I would say that if you're not riding, it depends on what age you are as well. Like in your 20s, you'd be good. I'd say your baseline would be 4 times a week. Into your 30s, you're moving. You're probably peak at 5, go down to 3. And I would say now in my 50s, I'm about somewhere between 2 and 3 times a week does me.
2 and 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And that's
But that could be, you could do 3 of them on a Sunday and then you'd have nothing to do then
Yeah.
till the following weekend.
But then you could have Tommy. But you could have the
I
surprise
could,
one.
I could go out fairly lively
on a Sunday morning.
twice Sunday morning and then one Sunday evening just after the Angelus.
Have a quick one.
Yeah.
So it's like scheduled appointments you have.
Yeah, and men like. Look, we
You've
don't.
got scheduled
We don't go
appointments.
around looking for it all the time.
Yeah.
There's always the right time for a man. It's always, and we
But
like.
I'm more in. What do you feel about? How do you feel about this new thing about sex robots?
Well, give us some more details.
So there's a new term now called robosexual. If you're inclined to have sex with a robot, but in Japan, this fella got married to a robot, and
Right.
his mother wouldn't go to the wedding because she said it wasn't really something to celebrate.
Yeah.
So he married this lady, and you can pick them. You can
They're almost
design them
lifelike,
as you
aren't
want.
they? They're
Yeah,
lifelike.
you can design them however you want. So you can pick out. You order it. You can pick out if you want blonde or brunette.
Okay.
You can, or whatever colour hair you want. You can pick out the type of lips, cheeks, eyes, eyebrows. Then you move down to the boobs. Do you want big ones, small ones? You can pick.
Could you do different sizes?
Yeah, different
Like,
sizes.
say if the right one is fairly massive,
They look
and
like-
then just the small one, the left one's kind of small. And
No,
tiny.
you'd either want big ones or small ones. They don't do. Like,
I'm sure they could do if
they
it,
probably could if you had a specific fetish for one boob bigger than the other.
Ah, yeah, that'd be good crack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have whatever type of vagina that you
Hang
can
on,
have.
you've missed it. What about the stomach?
What about
Oh
the,
yeah, whatever.
You could
could
design
have,
a stomach like.
you could have
design the belly button?
a bit any way you want.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be good, yeah,
And then the skin.
And could you put her arse, like the whole of her arse, instead of being buried around the back where it's hard to reach sometimes, could you put like between her tits? Yeah, could you put her arse between her tits?
Don't know what that
So
was.
you could be sucking the big one
So
and
basically
driving
you-
your finger through the arsehole.
Licking her arse and licking her tit.
Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes it's hard to reach around the back. You just poke at it. Poke at it.
Yeah, you could do that, I suppose.
wow.
You'd have to sit down with the man that's designing
With the
it.
designer.
Yeah.
But I watched this documentary on Channel 4.
Could you give her
about it before.
hooves as well and a tail?
Yeah, the problem is now they're trying to design them that they can walk, so they could walk with you down the
yeah.
street. You can get ones
Can
that
you
stand
imagine
up
walking
or
down with a robo woman who had fucking hooves? Like 2 hooves and a fucking tail on her and a arse in the middle of her tits.
Oh, why would you not have her dressed like if she was walking down the street with you?
But she wouldn't have bothered to her like she's a robot. She wouldn't notice it.
But she has feelings, like she.
Where?
Well, I don't know. They're like set up inside her. They're so
What
like
was
if you
that?
touch
Like-
her,
what
if
was
you
that?
touch her boob, she'll go, "Oh, I like
And
that."
when she flinch, like if you put a lit match to her anus, would she flinch? Like, can you get ones with built-in flinching?
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Is there a switch where you can say the flinch is on or
I
off?
think you should make a documentary about them. Go to the factory.
What's
and
the
then-
name of that movie? Machina, Ex Machina, isn't it?
See, I
Yeah.
didn't see that, but you should maybe go to the factory and see how they're made, and maybe you could put in those specific requirements, and then you can talk to them.
They're getting
They
very
have-
lifelike, aren't they?
They're completely lifelike now, so they're
Yeah,
just
you'd
trying
hardly
to
call a woman now with a tail and hooves.
lifelike.
See, if you're sitting alone,
Lifelike.
if you're sitting alone in your bedroom and you're 38,
Can you imagine the hooves are?
But here, this bodybuilder, in Kazakhstan, you can get married to them as well, because in Kazakhstan they have basically you have to get the requirements for a marriage is you have to be over 18. Both parties have to
Yeah.
be over 18. It has to be a man or a woman, and that's it. Once you're over 18, and once you're a consenting adult, so robots are
Is
classified.
gay marriage allowed in Kazakhstan?
No, I don't think so. No.
Um,
So this fella, anyway, his sex doll broke, and he had to send her off to be repaired, and he was devastated. Her name was Margot, so he had to send her off.
Margot!
He sent her off, but she had to go to another city to get repaired. And he
what was broken in her? Oh,
well,
no.
this is the thing, he didn't
Broke
reveal
her
that.
in two.
And their legs go every which way, and they're made of silicone. Now the only problem is they're not heated, so like when you touch it, it's like touching a dead body.
It's like riding a corpse. I'll
Yeah.
not do that again.
Please explain.
What?
Please explain.
Did you never ride a dead person? You haven't fucking...
Tommy, how
What?
could you deride a dead person? I wonder, do men get erections when they're dead? When you die, you know, like rigor mortis.
Well, I tell you, you're expressing a keen level of interest there. If
I
you
was
were,
just thinking about it logically there, like
if
well,
you were to design, say, all this talk about female robots.
yeah, well, there's male ones.
so if you,
as well.
so what kind of a male robot would you like?
I don't know, just
Just
one that.
What would just talk
Whatever.
us through his body? Let's start with the face. Who would pick someone that we can relate to?
No,
Who would he have?
like,
Would he have the nose of Kieran MacDonald?
I don't know what Kieran MacDonald's nose looks
Would he have
like.
the no? Would he have?
would he have long hair? Like would he have bleached blonde surfer
No.
hair?
Would he have the hair of Conor Mortimer?
No,
Would he be like a crew cut army fella?
he'd look a bit like Brad Pitt if you could design him.
Yeah, of course. He would, yeah.
His shoulders, would they be the shoulders of Willie?
Big, strong shoulders.
Big strong shoulders. You could fucking
Big, strong
Hold on
arms.
to.
Yeah.
Go on.
Big
Big
strong arms. Big strong.
Big, strong.
What
arms.
about
strong
chest?
head.
Would he have a nice chest?
Not genetically modified, like steroidy arms. Like
Would he
just
have a
strong
hairy
ones.
chest or would it be shaved?
Oh, not shaved.
Do you like a hairy chest?
No,
What is his stomach like?
nice and flat.
Lovely.
Nice and flat.
And then let's go down to the
Down to the
merchandise.
legs.
Let's talk about the ammunition.
Yeah.
What do you want down there? What do women want? What's the perfect thing for women down
Women
there?
want to be in
Is it width or
they want
size?
to be
In trouble.
in trouble. They just need to be satisfied. So
Like,
whatever way that needs
as
to be done.
as a fantasy now, would you like this? Say you're in your bedroom, right?
Right.
And next thing, you just hear a fucking thundering upstairs, and next thing it's completely fucking black, and next thing the door bursts open and this fucker in a balaclava just comes in and he fucking rides you, and then he's. Because I bought a book.
As in, like, the robot would be just come up, just
Well, you
sneak
never-
up on you
What's
whenever
that?
you least
No, I-
expect it and start having sex with you.
No, I bought a book one time called Irish Women's Sexual Fantasies.
Oh, go on then.
And what was remarkable about
Why
it,
did you buy it?
for the horn.
Go on, yeah.
So what was remarkable about it was that the freedom to fantasize, and a lot of the time people's fantasies are something that if they happened in real life, they'd be traumatic.
Yeah, but
So I was having a bit of crack with you saying, some fella,
Yeah.
and you say, oh, I'd love if just lying there in the bed reading the Mayo news, and next thing I hear a fucking pane of glass been smashed in the fucking kitchen, and then this fella comes up and he's about 8 foot tall and 4 foot wide. He's covered in hair. He has a balaclava and a big Mickey, and he comes in and he just rides me in the bed, and then he disappears. Like you might say, oh, that the idea of that is kind of horny in a kind of fantasy way,
Right.
But a lot of these fantasies were, if they actually happened,
they'd be scary.
they'd be fucking scary, but most of them would be illegal. And
Can you remember any of them?
Well, stuff like oh, I'd love it if the fella come in to fix the dishwasher. If he was just fixing the dishwasher and then without Laurita's breathing heavily already, and
Got his big tool.
and then
It's Phillips.
he's fixing the dishwasher, and then he just fucking throws me up on the sink and gives me a good fucking seeing to. He doesn't even
Yeah.
speak to me. He just fucking
Yeah.
throws me up in the fucking sink. I don't even know his name. Some Polish bloke, and he rides me, and then he fucks off again, and I have to call him back because he didn't
He
fix
just forgot to fix
the machine. But that to me was just really interesting. That you have freedom, your imagination is free, and it's a wonderful thing.
But reality is completely
Reality
different.
is fucking, and the reality of sex is that it's fantastic, but it's very ordinary. It's just kind of
But
it's lovely. It's you and your partner just having a lovely old ride.
And a feel.
It's just very
But like
it's
this,
easy going.
this in Japan now, it's become massive. These robo doll, like
Really?
sex dolls. And this fella, I watched a video last night of this American fella, and he's there sitting with his sex doll.
Now, hang on,
What are you doing with your hand there
He's
now?
brushing her hair first at the start of the video, right?
but hang on now.
I'll share it out.
Did you have to? This wasn't something on the telly that you came across. This was something
No, I watched.
You had to Google.
I read about. Well, what happened first was I read this thing, and it'll be handy for you. Actually, there's
Who?
this you
Me?
Tommy. It'll be handy for you. There's this new robot that's being finalised in England now, and it cost about 248,000 to buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a robot that cooks for you and cleans for you. So if more of any kind stops coming or whatever, this robot can be inserted into the house. It has hydraulic arms and everything. It'll cook your dinner and it'll wash the dishes and everything.
Will it
So-
hear my confessions?
you could probably tell it to them. I'm not sure it will give you absolution, but listen to them anyway. So then that got me thinking about the time I watched the documentary about the sex dolls. And they're trying to combine now the two, where you have a doll that'll practically do everything for you, have sex with you. But your man, so I started watching the video, and then you get into a vicious circle of seeing all this stuff. This fella, right, is telling you how the only thing this sex doll that he had doesn't do is it doesn't do fellatio on him. So other than that, he said that's fine. He can, and then he stopped the video, like turned it blank, and then started having sex with the doll. So he says to her name was Emma, we're going to have sex now. And she was like, I thought you'd never ask. And then the next thing, he fires her down on the couch and starts having sex with her.
See,
so like, it's
if my wife, I'd find it very sexy if my wife could do a robot voice.
so you
So if we're just sitting there on the couch, one of an evening, and I just say we're gonna 10 minutes, we're riding, and she just goes, I thought you'd never ask. I'll go upstairs and get ready.
exactly.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that will never fit inside me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come quick. Come quick. Come quick. Touch my ass. Touch my ass. Come quick. Come quick.
You must
And
have been
then
watching the
afterwards,
video.
is there anything else you would like?
That was amazing then, she'd say.
That was incredible.
See, you're
That's Stephen Hawking. There's something.
that's
Wouldn't that be lovely though? Wouldn't it?
yeah, and then this other fella has 3 of them.
Yeah.
And he's saying, this is my wife. I'm married to her. Well, not legally, he says, but we've got matching wedding bands. And he's there holding her hand while he's playing the computer games. And then the other two are just his partners as well.
See, it's the next level.
It's the fixation
20
with them.
years ago, them dolls were just...
Is that kind of...
Why don't they
some
give-
men like it because it's a control thing? They can say, okay, sit down now, we're going to have sex. Switch. And then he can say to her, go to sleep now, Emma.
Yeah, look at sex
And Emma
dolls.
goes to sleep.
Sex
She
dolls
goes
have
into
been-
sleep mode.
It's just the next generation of that stuff. It's just...
Would it work in Ireland? Probably not, would
I'm
it?
sure you'd have a few customers.
Why doesn't the robot give blowjobs?
Just maybe the technology for
Isn't
this
there,
particular
like,
one.
Something could go wrong.
She could go back to the back of her throat.
That's the biggest Mickey I've ever...
The robotic things could start mulching up your penis.
Just clamp down and
Shouldn't imagine if she went into a
Vice
reboot
grips.
mood.
into chew mode.